this will bring some additional awareness of Alzheimer's disease and help her foundation?
I think there's no question. There is good that has come out of Pat getting dementia, and that is bringing awareness. And any cause that it's out there, it's about awareness. And that's how you raise money, and that's how Pat was. She wasn't going to say bye and you'll never see her again. You know, she had dementia and came to majority of our games unless it was real late at night. So I just think her getting out in the public was so brave of her, but I just think she thought it was a better cause. It wasn't about, again, it wasn't about her. It was about finding a cure for a really bad disease, and she just happened to get that disease.
Obviously, you know, a really tough coach to have to follow when you were put in that position. How have you tried to emulate her coaching, teaching, and off the court?
Well, I knew what I was getting into, and look, I've been mentored by the best, and I mean she's taught me all her principles, all her thoughts, and it's just to get it right, and I just know one way, and it's the way I've been taught. You know, she and I used to joke that she told me that, she said, "Warlick, you're going to roll me out in my wheelchair to the court," and I said, "Absolutely." So, you know, I'm just doing what I've been doing for 30-something years. And when you have a head coach that, gosh, allows you to do so much, you can't help but learn the game.
Holly, do you feel like, summer here and then you start preparing for next season, do you feel inclined maybe to even talk more about her, share more stories about her?
Well, you know, Dan, I don't know how much more I can tell. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just another chapter and another life lesson that, gosh, we can continue to learn. You know, things happen, and dementia happened to get the best of Pat Summitt, who's done everything. A legend, didn't, you know, it was living life to the fullest. And so, you know, if I can get probably one thing across, it's not, don't take things for granted. I don't think they do, but this whole thing of entitlement these days, we got to get past that and understand that Pat was all about hard work. She was all about earning what you get, and she was passionate about it. So if we can instill in the generation now that, you know, you got to earn what you get, and sometimes it's hard work. It's hard work, and it's not a given. You look at Pat's life; nothing was a given. You know, she came here as a graduate assistant. It wasn't about the money; it was about the love of the game. And so, I just think that she's a great example of what happens when you work hard and you're passionate about what you do. She's always been passionate about that. Gosh. Well, I tell you, my first memory of Pat is she came to one of my basketball games at Bearden High School, and I think maybe I played 8 minutes and I sprained my ankle real bad, and I didn't get to play, and so she left thinking, Warlick cannot play basketball. So that was really the first time I saw her. And I came up to a track meet. I ran track, and I came up to a track meet at Tom Black Track and ran, and she was inside, and they were doing the Pan Am trials, and she was a player. So I literally sat down and just watched her play. And that was my first really memories of understanding of who Pat Summitt was. Well, Pat had at the time. And I just watched her. And then I wasn't good enough to get a scholarship, so I came here on a track scholarship, and Pat let me try out. And so very thankful she did, and didn't hold those 7 layups I missed over my head. So, but that's my really encounter with Pat, and where I first met her and saw her, and again gives me an opportunity. Gives me an opportunity to walk on the basketball team. And I think that's what she's about, just opportunities. And obviously I'm here today because she gave me that.
I know coaches don't like to deal in hypotheticals, but one day when they're old enough, what do you think you'll say to her grandchildren when they're trying to figure out who the grandmother was?
You know what? You had a hell of a great grandmom. She just... I think the stories, again, the stories that I'll tell about Pat will be totally embellished, because that's what we did with stories. We embellished every story that we told. But be proud of her legacy, but be more importantly, just be proud of who she was and what she stood for. Is that good? Thank you all. Thank you all for coming out.